So here's a question I get all the time. What tricks can you give me to get around or through the gatekeeper? Well, here's my answer. Don't even try it. I'm going to go through what you need to do instead to get to decision makers. I just shake my head when I hear experts suggest that you need to go through, around, over, or past gatekeepers. It's a sign that the person just doesn't get it. Anyone who relies on tricks to get through the screener likely experiences something like this. The assistant puts the caller on hold and says to the boss, "Hey boss, got some bozo on line 2 here, being just a little bit shady, trying to bully me into letting him through. He won't give me any information. Should I get rid of him?" The boss says, "Oh yeah." And the assistant says, "Oh, gladly." First, let me be clear that I despise the terms gatekeeper and screener since they're negative. They cast a negative light on the person who holds the golden key to your decision maker's door. I much prefer assistant. At the precise moment an assistant picks up the phone in response to your call, that person, the assistant, is the most important person in your life for the next several seconds or minutes. So treat them that way. Too many sales reps feel that they don't have to sell until they reach the decision maker. Wrong. You've got to be prepared to sell whomever answers the phone. Let's examine why. The role of the assistant is to protect the decision maker's time. It's not to get rid of all salespeople, although it seems like that sometimes, right? You can reach the buyer a greater percentage of the time by being prepared to help the assistant do his or her job. And you do this by communicating that you're not there to merely waste the boss's time. And you've got to articulate very concisely and clearly that you've got something worth talking about. Therefore, whenever a screener asks, "What's this in reference to?" you've got to have a persuasive reason ready to roll. If you don't, you fail the first test. And then you position yourself in the screener's mind as somebody who's just selling something. Now, that prompts more questions of you. Questions usually designed to disqualify you, followed by things like this. Maybe you've heard these. "Oh, just send any information you have," or "She's in a meeting right now. We're all set with who we're using." So therefore, your goal is to help the assistant understand that you have something of potential value that might be able to help the buyer in several ways. Here's some points to keep in mind that will help screeners and help you get through a greater percentage of the time. Do your online research. The basis of my smart calling prospecting system is first collecting intelligence about the decision maker, their company, anything that's going on in their world. Oh, use LinkedIn, Google, Inside View, Facebook, anything that might be relevant. Check their Twitter account. Look for anything that you can use that's going to help you set yourself apart and create value in your messaging. That helps you to ultimately get in and make a connection. Prepare your assistant strategy as part of your pre-call planning. Know what you will say if you're questioned by an assistant. It's just as important as your opening statement and the questions that you're ultimately going to ask the decision maker. I love this one. Do social engineering. This is also part of your smart intelligence gathering. Would it help you at all to learn inside or relevant information about the decision maker, their firm, their clients, what their initiatives are, and more? Of course. You might be surprised to learn you can get lots of this information by simply asking questions of the assistant and others. And in the process of questioning, you position yourself as a person who really cares about being prepared before speaking with the decision maker, as opposed to the salesperson who's just smiling and dialing. So say to the assistant, "Hey, you probably work closely with Ms. Big there, right? I want to make sure that I'm prepared when I speak with her, and there's probably some information that you could help me with." And then you ask your questions. Have a powerful justification statement ready to roll. Who are assistants told to get rid of? Time-wasting salespeople, that's right. And the only way you can avoid that label is if the assistant feels you have something worthwhile. A piece of garbage I've heard spread by some so-called experts is that you shouldn't give any information to the screener. I just read in a sales book you're not supposed to give the screener any information. So what's up with that? What nonsense that is. If they want to know why you're calling, be ready to very clearly explain, "Well, at your site, I see that you specialize in retirement planning for small business owners, and with other advisors who have the same specialty, we've been able to help them increase their production in that market through some very innovative methods. And I'd simply like to ask Mr. Advisor a few questions to see if I could provide him some information. Make it interesting but non-objectionable. This means you don't want to present an idea they're qualified to say no to. For example, you wouldn't want to say, well, I want to talk about our new product. They likely respond with, we're happy with what we're using now. You probably heard that before, right? To get through, the assistant needs to hear about a result, not a product or service. They need to know why you are special. Ideas, concepts, and methods are less objectionable than products and services. They can get rid of products or services. Results are a lot tougher. Help assistants do their job, and you'll be able to do yours a greater percentage of the time. If you'd like more free tips on what's really working and getting through to decision makers, working with assistants, and getting your emails and voicemails responded to, I invite you to get my free ebook right now. A question I get all the time is, I forgot the question. A question I get all the time is, so a question I get all the time is, do you know any magic tricks? Or what tricks can I use to get past the screener? I knew it had to do with tricks. Okay. All right, I got this. So if you help assistants do their job, they will help you do your job, I guess. I don't need the notes. I got this. Better able, they're going... This is on, right? Are you sure this is on? Can you hear me okay? What? No, I don't work for the TSA with this shirt on.